Hey my bowl of cereal, welcome to another episode of Skinny White Guy Complain About AI. Hi, I'm Skinny White Guy and I'm here to complain about AI. And as with most complaints in the world, it all started with a single Twitter thread. Grok 2 is insane. It's the best AI image model that can generate photorealistic people right now. 100% AI. Yeah, I can see that. Not just because most of these look like shit, but also because they're all featuring at least one dead person. John Lennon, Michael Jackson, Freddie Mercury, Princess Diana. Twice. And now the reason that this thread is so outrageous is not just because this user is creating soulless generative videos of deceased celebrities to generate AI hype, although that'd already be enough to angrily wave your fist for. No, it's because most of the deceased are accompanied with their still alive loved ones. The late John Lennon with still alive Paul McCartney, who were considered best friends. And Paul said losing him hit him so hard that he couldn't talk about it. The sadness was just too deep. He doesn't know what he's talking about. They're together right here. Freddie Mercury and the live Brian May, who were such close friends that they saw one another as brothers. I meant see one another as brothers, because clearly they're still looking at each other right now. Prince Harry, who thought he lost his mother Diana at the age of 12 in a tragic car accident, which must have been so traumatizing for the rest of his childhood, especially with the extensive conspiracy that she was assassinated. If the real conspiracy is that she was never dead at all. Because she's trapped in someone's dystopian Twitter thread. Obviously, I'm being facetious here. I think creating 5 seconds long soulless AI generated videos of passed away celebrities with their still alive loved ones isn't just vile. It almost feels psychotic. The worst one probably being that of Bindi Irwin and her father Steve Irwin, a TV personality also known as the Crocodile Hunter, a TV show I just discovered and will be binging for the rest of this week.
He hates it when I mow him there. He'll kill me or the mower. He doesn't care which one he gets.
I mean, he passed away by a stingray attack while his daughter Bindi was only 8 years old. Imagine you lose your father by a tragic accident at his job at just the age of 8. I can't even comprehend all of the trauma she must have gone through. And then you have this clown AI generating not just her father, but how they look together now that she's 26 and already had to go through 18 years of traumatically growing up without him. If you enjoyed this thread, I didn't. And Grok 2 isn't insane. It's got an ugly name, an even uglier logo, and it couldn't even generate 1 billion lions fighting the sun. These aren't 1 billion, and they aren't even in space yet. Also, pretty sure that that's just a giant rat. Wait, and this one's listening to copyright-free epic music with his Raycon Everyday Earbuds? Because today's video is sponsored by Raycon. With Raycon Everyday Earbuds, I'm ready to leave the cozy holidays behind and push into a productive new year. I am? In which I've promised to transform myself from meek, fragile, skinny twig into a slightly thicker and slightly less fragile, skinny twig by doing more exercise. Do I have to? And Raycon Everyday Earbuds makes that first step to actually start exercising and follow through on my New Year's resolutions easier because of their sweat resistance. So I don't need to worry about my sweat making my earbuds explode. And afterwards, I can fall asleep while listening to YouTube videos because their ergonomic design makes them comfortable enough to do so. At half the price of its competitors, I think these are a good way to start off the new year since they also have a 30-day happiness guarantee. So please go check out buyraycon.com/soggy where you'll get 15% off site-wide. That's right. You'll get 15% off everything on Raycon's website when you go to buyraycon.com/soggy. Thank you Raycon for sponsoring this video and thank you guys for clicking on my links because it helps me out a ton. What are James Dean and Tom Cruise doing in this thread? Aren't they both still alive? I know the entire planet has been gaslit into believing James Dean passed away in a tragic car accident in 1955 at age 24 with his entire fandom mourning his passing, but the entire planet is clearly wrong. Since now 70 years later, at the geriatric age of 94, they announced he'll be the protagonist in Back to Eden, a new sci-fi movie where an out-of-this-world visit to find truth leads to a journey across America with the legend James Dean as an AI clone. Because he died in 1955, 70 years ago at age 24. Wait, what? Yeah. Remember the debate over the past decade about how even though we're now able to digitally clone beloved actors even after their death, Should we? A question I remember asking myself back in 2016 after seeing Rogue One in theater. A Star Wars spin-off where Disney used CGI to revive Peter Cushing in his iconic role as Grand Moff Tarkin.
We've heard word of rumors circulating through the city. Apparently, you've lost a rather talkative cargo pilot.
Back then, I remember being in awe of this amazing feat in technology, barely believing my eyes as a Star Wars obsessed teenager at the time. Yeah, Star Wars! I selfishly justified Disney resurrecting Cushing by the fact that I finally got to watch a good Disney Star Wars movie. It also ended up being the only good Disney Star Wars movie.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
But now that we're 8 years later and the entire franchise is basically dead to me, I'm not so sure if using Peter's likeness for this role was justified. Sure, it made for a very cool moment and a rush of nostalgia, but it also made Disney a shit ton of money without Peter Cushing's consent. And of course, they say that they think they didn't do anything Peter Cushing would have objected to. It's not like he's gonna deny that statement. He's been dead for 31 years. One of his best friends, Kevin Francis, who is now suing Disney over this 8 years after the release of the movie. I was glad to read that for James Earl Jones, the voice actor of Darth Vader, they at least got his written consent to train AI on his voice, which they then utilized for Darth Vader in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Now if only that series were good. This, however, opens an entirely new can of worms, where if Disney keeps using AI to voice Darth Vader until the end of time, no other voice actor will ever be able to give their own artistic perspective on the voice or role. And if companies end up doing this with multiple characters, which they definitely are because it saves them a shit ton of money, voice actors might find fewer and fewer roles to fill. But a more egregious and recent example of a company using an actor's likeness disrespectfully is Warner Brothers with The Flash. A movie not just featuring a criminal, but also being criminal for using an AI cameo of Christopher Reeve's Superman without ever consulting his family. Or George Reeve's Superman, who didn't even have family to consent in the first place. And a lot of people speculate that the reason that George took his own life was because his role as Superman made his career as an actor die out prematurely back in the 50s. But you ain't resting in that grave, buddy. We're putting your digital corpse back in that suit so we can parade it around in a movie no one really cares about. But what do you expect? That we're gonna be discussing which ethical decisions outweighed potentially financial benefits all day? Boring! I'd much rather have corporate profits and increased quarterly earnings. And this is almost too financially beneficial, it'd be a crime not to take advantage of. Oh, sorry, I meant, for stars who have had their life cut short, AI is definitely an opportunity to bring them back from the dead and they can be recreated as a new performance, which really could just build on their legacy, as Marva Baylor, AI advisor with a gift for human connections, once said. She's also an executive leading $1 billion in revenue, so she might be a little biased. What? Huh. Did green screen me just talk about the moral gray zones of how using digital clones of passed away celebrities for company profit might be seen as unethical or disrespectful in many cases? Great, then I don't have to do that shit. Well, that was for cameos. We haven't even finished that debate yet, we're already moving on to full-featured films. With protagonist James Dean's AI clone 70 years after his tragic car accident to desperately cash in some of that potential money they could have earned if he had only lived a little longer. To respectfully build on his legacy, of course. Although that quote doesn't really work when you're putting people into projects every single fiber of their being would have been against if they were still alive. You've got Elis Regina, a deceased popular Brazilian singer who was strongly against the Brazilian military dictatorship, now puppeteered by AI in the 70-year anniversary Volkswagen ad, even though they happily cooperated with and profited from said dictatorship. And according to Travis Cloyd, CTO of CMG Worldwide, a company who owns many late celebrity estates, a great business opportunity lies in the resurrecting of historical figures and famous people of the past via digital clones such as Rosa Parks. You know, the lifelong activist Rosa Parks who fought segregation and was all for civil equality rights. Where do I pre-order her Fortnite skin?
Get to the back of the battle bus!
Shouted the Fortnite bus driver to Rosa Pleasant Park in Fortnite.
And the CEO of that same company who went on an episode of the Town podcast said AI is evolving so fast that exploiting dead celebrities is currently a wild, wild west out there.
And then with everything that's happening with AI moving at such a fast pace, it's really kind of the wild west out there. And we're all trying to stay up to speed on what's happening out there.
And not just for billion-dollar media companies or even small companies, but also for just everyday people taking advantage of this on social media. Albeit Spotify using AI to generate react podcasts to people's Spotify Wrapped?
Hello and welcome.
We're visiting from Google's Notebook LM.
Here to unwrap your 2024 Spotify Wrapped.
I don't need a robot spending 10 minutes telling me how embarrassing my Spotify Wrapped is. I've got eyes for that.
I'm getting a sense of like someone who enjoys that blend of catchy melodies.
Right.
That's what we call music. Anyway, someone's AI-generated podcast attributed her 7-day One Direction listening streak to them maybe having released a new flashy album or a new hit single.
That's so cool. You know, One Direction, they're classics.
And you even had a 7-day listening streak.
7 days straight. That's some serious dedication.
I wonder if that coincided with the release of something, maybe a new album or a reunion or something.
It would be really awesome if that happened. That would be a great thing.
Maybe there was a One Direction marathon happening.
Maybe you just really love One Direction and you just listen to them all the time.
It's a great choice. They're awesome.
Instead of the obvious reasons, which is that one of the band members, Liam Payne, recently passed away. But of course AI didn't make that link because that is a reaction entirely based on human emotion. You also have these garbage AI apps being promoted by generating videos of Liam Payne almost making out with his close friend and fellow band member Zayn Malik. Or Linkin Park's late singer Chester Bennington hugging other band members. Ooh, and Chester's arm just phased through his hand. And if you download app, maybe you can hug that celebrity. And every time I see something like this, it just takes away from the actual person who is being AI copied. It's never an improvement, it never makes me feel anything besides discomfort and a little bit of disgust for the person using this for profit. Except for Nicocado Avocado hugging skinnier Nicocado Avocado. Now that one pretty funny. See, on one side you could use AI to Frankenstein, a historical idol and inspiration to millions of people such as Rosa Parks on TikTok, to the point there's barely any resemblance between her and the poorly generated AI clone.
I refuse to give up my seat to a white passenger. I am Rosa Parks, an American activist in the civil rights movement.
And have that clone tell her story while making revenue off of it, or you could have just put in a little bit more effort to post a compilation of publicly available interviews with the actual Rosa Parks, where she herself describes her real life experience in fighting for civil rights instead. But that requires actual effort instead of just typing a single prompt in a magical text box. And I don't want to use my brain when I'm profiting off of dead people. I want to automate it over hundreds of TikToks, no matter how terrible they are.
The ultimate icon of teenage rebellion. I am James D.
I put super glue on my husband's penis because he was cheating on me. I am Tracy.
I was shot and killed at the age of 20. I am XXXTentacion.
I was paid to fart in front of the king. I am Roland the Farter, a medieval entertainer.
And then we haven't even talked about the potential dangers, not just from smearing the legacy of beloved late idols for profit, but also the extreme dangers from euphemizing the actions of evil historical figures. Imagine the next generations being exposed en masse from the ages of 6 years to an AI deepfake of Jeffrey Dahmer stating that actually he was a good but misunderstood man. No, that he was a great misunderstood man. Oh, you'd say I'd be overcomplicating things, since you could achieve the same effect with a Netflix series starring sexy Evan Peters. Fair enough. But imagine someone does that with a historical corrupt politician, as means to make these newer generations more open-minded to the corrupt beliefs of said politician, so that the people pushing these AI can obtain similar powers without much pushback. That would be catastrophic. Oh wait, they're already doing that? With Hitler? Nope. Nope, 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 nope. I'm sorry, I just had to watch my eyeballs to make sure that I wasn't looking past any hidden cameras or something being unknowingly featured in some Black Mirror episodes. Sadly I'm not, and this is reality. I think to most people it seems only rational to let the dead rest in peace. It's literally the abbreviation of RIP. But since AI keeps improving daily, at this point having it generate media I can barely recognize as being AI generated. This is most likely going to get a lot worse before it gets any better, but I might have a solution. So my plan is that we start AI parodying every single powerful politician and CEO in the world. If we keep doing this, they might eventually get so butthurt that they'll actually do something about this. What are you still doing here? What, are you expecting some AI generated outro? Now that'd be a cliche. If you enjoyed this video, go watch some of my other videos. Don't forget to check out Raycon in the description and follow me on my socials so I can absorb all of your fibers and nutrients.